Good Monday evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on Unscripted. We are continuing to follow the impacts after this past weekend's ice storm that left thousands of people across northern Michigan without power. And luckily today was a pretty quiet day weather-wise, so crews are working to restore power as quickly as they can and to clean up any damage that's out there. But we do know that some areas are in a shelter-in-place warning. They're asking you not to go outside if you can, stay in your house, because there's still so many down power lines and trees and roads, and it is just a very messy situation. So Joe, as I mentioned, nice that today we are getting a bit of a break weather-wise, but I know in our earlier shows you said we could see more ice potential on Wednesday. Yeah, and I was talking to a couple of my friends in the Gaylord and Petoskey areas today, and just how bad it is in some of those spots. Yeah, we thankfully, and this is good for the line crews too that are out there and the tree companies, we get a break tonight and tomorrow. In fact, the sun will be out. But Wednesday, there is another system with both snow and maybe some freezing rain coming in and maybe some thunderstorms too. So we'll talk about when that arrives and again, how much snow and ice we expect, all that a little later. All right, thanks so much, Joe. And the governor has declared a state of emergency for 10 of our counties after those damaging ice storms. As part of the declaration, the governor has activated the State Emergency Operations Center in Lansing to oversee and coordinate the state's response with local needs. More than 100,000 homes lost power across the northern lower peninsula and the upper peninsula, and that state of emergency declaration includes multiple counties: Otsego, Oscoda, Montmorency, Presqu'île, Emmett, Charlevoix, Sheboygan, Crawford, Mackinac, and Alpena. Now, by declaring a state of emergency, Governor Whitmer has made available all state resources in cooperation with local response and recovery efforts in those designated areas. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, there is a shelter-in-place order for some counties. Stay home and stay safe. That is really the overall message from Michigan State Police tonight, and that shelter-in-place order is set for 24 hours, but it could potentially be extended. According to MSP, thousands of trees have fallen, blocking roadways and becoming entangled in power lines, creating safety concerns and making travel extremely unsafe.
The cars that are on the roadway are finding a lot of obstacles. There are lines and trees across the roads everywhere, and every time a car strikes a line or catches onto a low-hanging wire, it causes further delays in restoring the power. So we need everybody to be patient and let our crews get out there and get these lines fixed up so we can get power back and get everybody back in business.
And Lieutenant Vetter says anyone running a generator should do so sparingly to conserve gas, and anyone without power and is in need of a warm place to stay or food is encouraged to call 211. Now, several warming centers have opened up around northern Michigan to help residents in need of food or a warm place to stay or just some power. We know that Petoskey City Hall has suspended staff operations and is staying open 24/7 until power is restored to the rest of the city. City Manager Shane Horn says a significant transmission main leading into the city was damaged by this weekend's storms.
Unfortunately, last night was not helpful to us with the additional freezing rain and temperatures, so we've lost a number of additional power poles and a number of additional lines went down last night. So that's likely going to set us back a little bit on how we are able to restore power, across the city.
And Horn says it may be 1 to 2 days until power comes back, and that volunteers are available to drive Petoskey residents to warming shelters. Now, we have learned tonight that one warming shelter is no longer an option. We are told the Salvation Army's Sheboygan location is dealing with generator issues that are making it difficult to keep the facility warm and open. But we do have a full list of all the different warming shelters around northern Michigan on our website, UpNorthLive.com. Well, over in Alpena, nearly everyone has been without power for more than 48 hours now. Lines for gas stations running on generators are overflowing into main roads, and down trees and power lines can be seen really all across the city. People are flocking to one of the only really operating grocery stores, and that is Meijer on M32.
Currently, we have lots of water available in the store, along with other beverages as well. We have many different shelf-stable items if you're looking for, meals to feed your family with. If you don't have power to be able to do that, we have that available as well. We have run out of propane, so we don't have propane. I get a lot of calls for that currently, but we're working to get more into the store. But, as far as the needs to take care of your family and feed your family, we have what you need.
And Meyer in Alpena is also serving as a hub for gas, but be prepared to wait in line for potentially several hours, and make sure you bring approved gas cans so you don't get turned away. Well, in the midst of the impacts from this historic ice storm, we're also following a flood warning in Wexford County. Right now, the warning is in effect until Friday. Our Allie Baxter drove around the area where forecasters are keeping a close eye on. That is the unincorporated community of Sherman, and brings us the full story.
Nothing extreme, nothing like property is going to be washed away or anything.
But it's still something forecasters and meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Gaylord are keeping an eye on, as more rain is coming to Wexford County midweek.
We're expecting the flood stage to remain kind of right at that minor, but it is pretty close to moderate right now. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and just kind of watch that going forward. The
difference between minor and moderate flooding is a foot. Monday, the Manistee River's gauge recorded more than 15 feet. Moderate flooding starts at 16 feet. The river's record crest is 16.87 feet, recorded in April 2014.
We have these hydrologic models as well, and we coordinate with the River Forecast Center, and they have just kind of model outputs of what that river is expected to do. And they use our forecast as well, our precipitation forecast, to kind of calibrate that model.
Meteorologist Joe DeLizio says while it's not quite at a record level, this circumstance is pretty rare.
The amount of rainfall as well, which we've had 2 to 4 inches over the past couple of days. That's pretty rare, especially for this time of year, later March.
As Joe explains, higher rainfall rates can lead to the river rising more rapidly.
Rainfall to different snow melt over the past, month or so. That's all resulted in kind of this river flooding.
That was Allie Baxter reporting, and NWS staff want to remind you that when in doubt, do not cross a flooded roadway. It doesn't take a lot of moving water to cause issues and potentially sweep cars away. Now, again, we know that there are so many people who still don't have power tonight, and we have more resources on our website, UpNorthLive.com. So if you are someone who needs a warm place to go, you need food, anything, check out our website for any resources, and we will have the very latest tonight on Up North Live News at 11. On a lighter note, we are continuing our series of looking ahead to summer concerts at Interlochen Center for the Arts. And once again, our guest tonight is Rodney. He's a marketing manager for live events and hospitality with Interlochen Center for the Arts. And Rodney, we didn't see you last week because of spring break, so it's good to have you back on Unscripted tonight for another exciting announcement.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have a great announcement this week. We have 3 bands that we are announcing. 2 of them have actually are Michigan-bred bands, so that's really exciting. First off, we have the War and Treaty, who's a duo. While they're no longer in Michigan, they are from Albion, Michigan. So they are from Albion, Michigan. They're a husband and wife duo, Michael Trotter Jr. and Tanya Trotter, and they're making it really big right now. Their music style is soul, passion. They have the energy, country. It's all mixed in there. I'm telling you right now that this might be the last time you're ever going to see War and Treaty in a small venue. They're going to be hitting the big time real soon.
And the name sounds so familiar, but I can't put my finger on what they sing. What are some of their more popular songs? Absolutely.
Some of the songs that you might know of is Lover's Game, Take Me In, 5 More Minutes. They're constantly winning awards, and they're on CMT quite often for the award show. They've toured with Zach Brown Band and Chris Stapleton. They're a must-see show.
And it's always awesome to see musicians who are from Michigan.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next band up, we have Mo and Aggie. So this is a jam band night for sure. These bands they're just wild. They're creative, they're unpredictable. Their shows are just it's a constant party. Their shows are just a constant party. This one's going to be a really fun one if you're into long jam sessions, if you're in those epic solos, guitar solos, banjo solos, you name it. This is the show you want to see.
And last but not least,
another Michigan band. And what's interesting about this one, and this might be the first time we've done this at Interlochen, is this band is going to be playing 2 nights in a row, a Friday night and then another show on Saturday night, 2 completely different sets. But we have Green Sky Bluegrass from Kalamazoo that's going to be joining us in Interlochen and, jamming both nights. They're Michigan natives, like I said, but they've gone from small town gigs in Kalamazoo and throughout Michigan to selling out Red Rocks, which is just amazing. They're a great band. Another interesting fact that we have is one of the faculty members at Interlochen, Joshua Davis, has actually co-written a song for them as well that they'll be performing one of the nights. Congratulations and condolences. So that's a pretty cool thing.
that is awesome. So how did you get them to come for 2 nights? Was that something where the band said like, hey, is this possible to do it for 2 nights? Or how did this all come to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something that we want to try out. We had the idea, they had the idea. We really came together on this and said, hey, let's try this out. Let's see if this is something that would work well in Northern Michigan in Interlochen, and we think it's going to work great. I mean, this band is awesome. If you have not seen them yet, you're definitely going to want to see them. The diehard fans or just fans, you're going to want to be there for both nights. Another cool thing is, I've said it before, but you can stay right on campus, just steps away from the music. So being a Friday and Saturday night, you can really make it a whole weekend getaway.
Sure, and tickets for all of these concerts go on sale April 4th. Ronnie, do you know how many more announcements are left for the upcoming summer season?
Yeah, we have 2 more weeks of announcements. So next week and then the following week we'll have announcements, and then we'll be up to over 30 shows. I don't know the exact number in my head, but I know it's over 30 shows that we will have in Interlochen, largest year for us for concerts. And I would also bet to say it's probably the most number of concerts any venue in Northern Michigan has ever had in 1 year.
Wow, that's awesome. What an achievement for Interlochen.
Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome. And it's, we have something for everyone. Again, country to classical, rock, blues, jazz, you name it. We have something for everyone.
A little bit for everyone, like you said. All right, Ronnie, well, we will see you again next week. We are, like you mentioned, getting towards the end of the announcements, but still a couple more left, so I'm very excited to see who else is coming to Interlochen this summer. And another reminder, tickets for these shows we mentioned today go on sale April 4th. You can find more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com. Ronnie, we'll see you again next week.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Another exciting thing that we can look forward to when it comes to summer, Traverse City Pit Spitters are less than 60 days away until opening day, and staff are looking for your participation this season. The Pit Spitters crew is looking for individuals to join the operations, ticketing, and food and beverage departments for the season. You do have to be 16 years old or older to apply. And in addition to working at the ballpark, if you also want to get involved, the annual fan food vote is back this year. So this is the opportunity for you to create a food item to be featured on the menu for the 2025 season. And this year's theme, foods on a stick. So staff are looking for anything sweet or savory that can be skewered.
We love the fan food vote because it's an opportunity for our fans to get engaged in the baseball experience here. So food and baseball go hand in hand, and this is a cool way to feature our fans.
And you can submit your food creations until April 7th. Well, you heard it there. Food and baseball really go hand in hand. So our question of the day is related to this story. What is your favorite ballpark food? Scan the QR code on your screen right now to head to our website where you can vote. The options are hot dog, hamburger, hot pretzel, or popcorn. We'll take a look at the results and read some of your comments towards the end of the show. But stay with us. Joe will have much more on the forecast for the upcoming week. As he mentioned, a couple quiet days, but then Wednesday, another chance for more ice. So he'll break all that down for you in just a couple of minutes.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
We talked a little earlier in the show about the impact that this weekend's ice storm has caused all around northern Michigan. And Joe, this is something that we also talked about in our 6 o'clock show. But for those who weren't able to watch then, how would you compare this weekend's ice storm to past ice storms?
Well, it's hard to do because we really haven't had quite anything like this. You know, there was a comment from the National Weather Service office in Gaylord that this might compare to a storm back in 1976.
Wow.
Which they had to kind of dig into. I don't have the exact details on that one. But we don't, you know, we do get ice, don't get me wrong, but we don't get the ice to this level usually. And Elmira topped the list with 1.5 inches of ice. Let's take a look tonight, though. Here's the good news. Skies are clearing out. In fact, I was just walking by the lobby here at our building, and there's peaks of sunshine outside, just west of Traverse City. If you're up in the UP tuned in, you've had sun for a couple, well, some spots a couple hours now. But the trend is for the clouds to depart, and here's where we have clear skies now and some evening sunshine. And then if you're in the northern central lower peninsula watching right now, you will get clear skies tonight too. So I would imagine by the late news, 11 or 12 o'clock, we'll have the stars out widespread tonight. That system that brought the havoc is now moving off the East Coast. You can see that area of low pressure up there near Quebec, heading away from the area with high pressure in control for a day or so here. But already out west, we have all this kind of rain and snow coming on shore off the Pacific Ocean in, well, Idaho tonight, areas in Utah, Wyoming, up into Montana. That is heading our way. Now, we will not, it's going to be about at least 24 hours, if not longer, till we see anything out of this. So a bit of a break tonight. There's tomorrow, dry weather. Beautiful day. The sun will be out as it's our first day of April. We'll be in the 30s, few 40s tomorrow. And then here comes our next weather maker, or storm system. And the issue here is we're going to start cool, so we'll have snow initially. Yeah, right there. Could be heavy, actually, for a time Wednesday morning. The pink is the freezing rain sleet scenario. And then we are going to warm up Wednesday. So look what happens. We switch this over to rain by the afternoon for most spots. So I'll run through this kind of once again. That's Wednesday. Are we going to see ice like we did over the weekend? No, definitely not. But we could see some freezing rain. It's just not going to accumulate to that degree. Here's the snow forecast. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And that would be late Tuesday night and Wednesday morning for most of that before we switch over to rain. It's going to be real sloppy. And here's our thoughts on ice as of right now. You know, we had 1.5 inches at Elmira, way, way less than that. But it's still going to be very slippery. And keep in mind some of that snow on Wednesday. It's also going to be kind of windy. So here's our extended forecast. Wednesday is the day to kind of heed warning on. Thursday, a few flurries north. And then look ahead to the weekend. It does look relatively quiet with upper 30s and mid 40s Saturday and Sunday. Notice next Monday, I know it's a ways away, but snow showers. It actually looks kind of chilly next week. Once again, it's a winter unrelenting right now.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much, Joe. Let's take another quick commercial break. But coming up next, we will bring in sports director Harrison Beebe and talk all things March Madness. Stay with us. Well, it was a pretty sad weekend for Michigan college basketball teams as Auburn beat Michigan in the Sweet 16 on Friday, and then Michigan State in the Elite Eight on Sunday. For more on that, let's turn things over to our sports director, Harrison Beebe, who is a Michigan State fan. How you doing, Harrison? Are you okay?
Yeah, Maya, these things happen. I mean, still repping the green and white today. It's okay. You know, it's just to break down the game just as best as I could justify it to myself. You know, Auburn was a better team, and honestly, Michigan had them on the ropes on Friday night. It looked like they weren't going to be the better team, and then they shifted to that gear. And you know, State had their chances, especially when Janai Broome, the All-American player, left the game for a few minutes there in the second half, but they really couldn't get any closer. And all 4 Michigan State tournament games, they kind of dug themselves a hole every time, and that eventually was going to catch up to them as far as a really good team, not allowing them to just climb back into it. So Auburn definitely worthy of being a #1 seed and worthy of a spot in the Final Four, and that was this year. All 4 #1 seeds looked like teams worthy of those spots, and that's why they're all there. Only the second time in history we're getting all 4 #1 seeds in the Final Four. Both Final Fours being held in San Antonio, which is very interesting coincidence. But there you see the remaining matchups. We get an all SEC semifinal between Florida and Auburn. And then, in my opinion, what is probably the national championship game, Duke and Houston playing in their semifinal. And we'll see who comes out of that one. I think will be favored to win the championship game when it's played 1 week from tonight.
And who do you think will win that championship game, Harrison?
The only team that has yet to really look like they have, you know, reasons to be judgmental for is Duke. And whether that was because, you know, beforehand we were wondering how Cooper Flagg would look with that injured ankle that he had or not. But every tournament game they've played, they've looked effective and efficient. Even Houston had some struggles in this tournament so far with Purdue in the Sweet 16 and whatnot. So if I had to pick up these 4, I'd say it's Duke. But now that they're all there, maybe they'll just beat up on each other and the strongest will survive.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Harrison. Certainly will be a tough task to beat the Duke Blue Devils this year. We'll stick around. We're going to take a look at our question of the day and the live results in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
The Traverse City Pittsburghers are bringing back their fan food vote for the upcoming season, where you can create a food item that could be placed on the menu for the 2025 season. So we wanted to know, what is your favorite ballpark food? Most people, 65% went with hot dog. Classic, can't go wrong there. 20% pretzel, 8% hamburger, 8% popcorn. Then over on Facebook, we have some fun answers. Randy says beer. Nick says lasagna in a cup. And Scott says pickles. So I love the variety of answers on our Facebook comments. You can join the conversation there, but that'll do it for Up North Live Unscripted tonight. Be sure to join us tonight on Up North Live News at 11. Take care, everyone.